Everybody, thank you for being here today. My name is Meha Boulainain. I'm the head of communications for Google in the Middle East and North Africa. And we are so happy that all of you have joined us today. Well, sorry, it's a little bit warm in the room, but it shows that there's a lot of energy and excitement for the messages that we're about to tell you about today. We're going to jump right into it because I know you're excited to see what we're here to talk about today. And I want to introduce our Vice President for Google for Emerging Markets and SEMEA, Mr. Mohammed Gaudat.
You may not like what I'm going to say. Okay, so thanks very much for being here. It's truly an honor and a privilege. I have to say this is a moment that's been long in the making, if you think about it. We started here around 2007 in the UAE. The UAE was really our very first venture into the Middle East region. And in 2007, even though the Middle East region was really not advanced enough on the internet, we had people who had access, but there was really very little Arabic content on the web, and accordingly the usage was quite low. We still at the time got a lot of interest from Google's executives into specifically the UAE, but the Middle East region at large. And I remember very well in 2007, we had our Chief Business Officer, Nikesh Arora, and Eric Schmidt, who was our CEO at the time, both come and visit the UAE and visit Dubai and meet with Sheikh Mohammed and the executive office and so on. And I remember very well a very interesting comment when they came out of those meetings. They looked at me strange and said, "This government is very Googly," which is a term we use inside Google to describe sort of everything that Google stands for. And by very googly is actually a very complex description, but it basically talks about people who think of very, very big challenges, who really are very ambitious in their abilities of trying to solve those challenges, and who do it in ways that nobody has ever done it before. And so when you think about it, in many ways, I think Dubai has been, the embodiment of that across all governments across the world. I'm not ashamed to say, and I say that publicly in front of everybody, that you do things in a very googly way. I think a great example of that is Burj Khalifa. So it's not a small structure, let's put it this way. It's not something that's been done before. It's not something that's ever been done in that time frame and to that scale or that magnitude or impact on the image of the country and the city across the world. And when you think about it, that idea of thinking big, thinking really, really big, and then finding very radical solutions to make it happen is something that we hold very, very close to heart. And in many ways, I think we sort of tend to think that we are the Dubai of all companies and hope in a way that there is a lot of common features between us and Dubai, that Dubai is probably the Google of all cities or all countries. Now this takes, you take such a small difference in attitude and it takes you a very, very long way. It takes you from companies that, if you look at technology, companies that develop new features and new versions to whatever products and softwares and hardwares they're developing, to companies that are inventing driverless cars and wearable computers and balloon-based or balloon-powered internet access, the one that we launched last week, which are seriously radical and seriously change the way things are done in the world we live in today. But also when you take that attitude and apply it to a place like Dubai, you can easily see where Dubai is today in the middle of a global economic crisis and a bit of a turmoil across the region in which we exist. So what is achieved by that ability to really think out of the box and find radical solutions to how you do things, I think really is the way to go through the century we're in. I will close by saying that even though I'm not from the UAE, I really relate to Sheikh Mohammed's leadership in many ways. And one of the phrases that completely catch my attention is when he said, "أنا وشعبي نحب أن نكون في الصدارة." He says basically, me and my people, we like to be number one. And I really think very highly. I really appreciate that idea. I will not spoil the excitement for you because we're going to talk about the detail today, but what you're going to see today really puts Dubai as number one. When it comes to technology, this is something that's never been done before. It's not just another set of photographs that we have of a building that exists in the world. The amount of computer science, the amount of different approach that we had to put in it to just match the magnitude of the structure itself has been something that I think is going to be memorable inside Google and hopefully outside Google for a very long time. So without further ado, I think this is another statement for how visionary this country is, and hopefully a small bit of recognition from Google of how impressive what's been done here is for the world to see. So with that, I leave you with the excitement, but then I introduce Ahmed to talk.
مساء الخير. في البداية طبعا مثل ما قال الأخ محمد أنا ما راح أعطيكم تفاصيل عن المشروع، لكن يسرني طبعا نحن في شركة أعمال نكون من الرواد في استخدام هذه التقنية. لا يكفي طبعا أن نحن يكون عندنا مشروع مميز مثل برج خليفة، ولكن يفترض أن نحن ننقل هذه الصورة الرائعة لجميع الناس في كل مدينة أو في كل زاوية في العالم. تم إنجاز الكثير، وطبعا نحن دائما في الشركة نحرص أن احنا نقدم الأفضل ونكون من الأوائل. برج خليفة ما في شك الناس كلها تعرفه وتعرف تفاصيله وتعرف كثير الأمور المميزة فيه، ولكن نحن دائما نحرص أن كل مهتم موجود في العالم سواء كان في منطقتنا أو في العالم بصورة عامة يعرف تفاصيله ويحصل على بعض الصور الشيقة، وليس لبرج خليفة فقط ولكن المنطقة المحيطة ببرج خليفة. أنا أشكر الإخوان في جوجل وأشكر الإخوان في شركة أعمار اللي طبعا ساهموا من أجل إنجاح هذا المشروع، وأتمنى لهم التوفيق وشكرا.
Thank you. And now Abdullah, who is the head of marketing for Google in the Middle East and North Africa, will show you what you all came here for today.
Thank you, Maha. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time today, and thank you for coming to celebrate this launch with us. Google pioneered online mapping 13 years ago. And today we continue to invest in this capability for a number of reasons. Primarily, our vision is to create the most comprehensive, user-friendly, and accurate map that exists across every possible device in every language and gives users the ability to discover the world in ways they never had before. This is important to us because 20% of all searches that users conduct on Google are related to locations. So people might be looking for a restaurant, they might be looking for a hotel, but 20% of any search on Google is related to location. And that's why mapping is so critical for us and so important for us. And our goal is to map the whole world. And not just to map it from the perspective of showing what you would see on a paper map, but actually mapping it from the perspective of discovery. A map is all about discovery. It's about learning new things. It's about seeing new places, about feeling new experiences. And as a result, over 1 billion people, 1 billion people, use Google Maps every month. Google Maps is not just about maps. There are many products that fall under our Maps portfolio. So first of all, I'm sure you're familiar with Google Earth. This is a piece of software that allows you to see any part of the Earth based on satellite imagery. That's been downloaded over 1 billion times. Lots of billions in this presentation, I'm going to tell you. The other thing we've recently launched is 3D maps on mobile. And these are maps that enable you to discover an area in 3D format on your mobile device in ways that were never feasible before. We've also recently launched live traffic, and this is active in the UAE. So across the UAE today, if you were to use the Maps app on a mobile device, you'll be able to see, so you can see here actually, the red areas are the congested areas, the green areas are the areas where there's not as much congestion, so you can adequately plan your route in a way that saves you time and effort. We've also launched navigation, which is a turn-by-turn piece of software that enables you to get from point X to point Y in the most efficient way possible. Within Maps, Street View is a technology that lets you explore places, like I said earlier, in an experiential way, in a way that you would normally not see if you were looking at a regular map. And it also gives you the ability to explore that in 360-degree fashion and in a very sophisticated way. We've launched Street View in 3,000 cities and 50 countries around the world. And I'm just going to show you very briefly now a video for what Street View looks like so that you can get a feel for the experience. So let's say we're going to France. We would perhaps want to check out a particular street, so in this case, Champs-Élysées. You then drag the yellow pegman over and it immediately turns into a 360-degree view, and you can actually move from one point to the other, and you'll see that here we're getting very close to the Arc de Triomphe on Champs-Élysées. So, in addition to street-level Street View, which is what I just showed you now, we also do something called the Street View Special Collect. Now, Special Collect uses the same technology that we use on Street View for collecting locations that are of cultural, historical, or social significance. And the idea is to give users access to places that they wouldn't normally be able to see. And to do this exercise, we use a variety of different types of equipment that we've innovated and created at Google. One of those is the Trekker, which you will see here. This is a backpack-held device that allows you to automatically capture imagery and walk very, very easily to places that are very difficult to get to. So let's say you're trying to climb a mountain, or you're trying to perhaps go underwater, in this case, so we've taken the Trekker underwater. And there's also this device, which is called a trolley, which is used for regular rooms and locations. So why am I telling you all this? Well, what does it actually look like? So here's an example of a special collect. This is the Acropolis Museum in Greece. Now, not many of us would have had the opportunity to visit the Acropolis Museum in Greece, but thanks to a Street View Special Collect, you're now able to examine each individual artifact in the Acropolis Museum in Greece in a large degree of detail. This is a tour of the Swiss Alps from the front of a train. So again, a very unique experience that we bring to people from technology of this kind. This is an underwater exploration. We've even taken the device all the way underwater to explore the coral reefs and the underwater life that exists in Hawaii and Australia. So let me show you also how that looks and how you find it online. So you would go to a Street View site and you would choose a gallery. So in this case, we're going to actually show you the White House, which is a collection we're particularly proud of. And as you can see, or about to see, we are actually inside the White House here, and you're going from one room to another to explore different parts of this very important and significant building. You can actually zoom all the way up to the pictures inside the White House. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we are actually delighted to announce that Street View has now arrived in the Arab world. For the first time in the history of Google, we've actually taken our Street View technology to a skyscraper. And what better place to start than Burj Khalifa? What better place to go than the world's biggest, tallest skyscraper, and such an iconic structure of importance to Emiratis and to Arabs and to everybody worldwide. We went to the team at A'mar with a big idea back in October last year. how could we bring this urban masterpiece to millions of internet users around the world? Surprisingly, I was surprised. It was a very easy and quick discussion. It was actually decided on the spot that we would actually move ahead. And thanks to the leadership of Mr. Matoushi and Mr. Falasi and Mr. Wasim Khan, Mr. Ahmed Arora, who were the people involved in these discussions in the beginning, we were actually in very good shape to get started. But there were many challenges, like Mohammed alluded to earlier in his presentation, to actually executing this project. First of all, as I said, we've never done a skyscraper before. So we had to undergo a large degree of testing and work that we did with our engineering teams in Mountain View, California, and Zurich, Switzerland, to make sure that the equipment would work at these altitudes. We also had to make sure that the weather conditions were right. People are going to want to go to Burj Khalifa to discover the interior of this magnificent structure, but they're also going to want to look outside, right? They want to see the view. And we needed to make sure that we were on a day that there was no haze. There was an uncharacteristic amount of rain in May in Dubai that we had to work around and make sure that we were avoiding in order to make sure that we had the best possible views. And we also had to experiment with the actual equipment. So this is a picture of one of our, the program manager of Street View actually standing on the building maintenance unit, capturing from the 73rd floor the images that are in Dubai. So I'm going to show you what that actually turned out to look like, but first I want to show you a video of the behind the scenes.
Special because it is the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, and we are here to bring to the user this possibility to see this huge, immense, wonderful building inside out, because this is the first time we're in this type of building in an Arabic country, connecting indoor and outdoor. So it's really, I think it will be huge for the user to have this wonderful experience of being able to navigate through Street View. The tracker is a new device that Google created about a year ago. It's a backpack, and it allows you to go to all the places you want to go, like the mountain trails, narrow passages, everywhere that no other device will fit. So it's just wonderful. The capture of the whole building will take about 3 days. The collect yesterday was just amazing. We went on the window cleaning baskets, and we went all over the building. We were at the 80th floor. This is the first time I am going in this height, and Google is going in this height with this type of devices. And it was just amazing to be able to stand outside of the building, see the beautiful Dubai. You have the sea, you have the islands, and you can see everything from there. We will also do the spire, so that will be the cherry on the cake. This project will give the user a privilege to see more of the Burj Khalifa. You can see everywhere you have something to discover. I have no words really to describe it. It's just an emotion feeling. It's really great. It's wonderful.
So I'd like to show you actually how this experience looks online and how you can find this footage. So we've created a dedicated website at google.ae/streetview. So let me show you how that looks. So when you go to google.ae/streetview, you automatically end up on the Burj Khalifa Special Collect. And we've collected a number of different places inside the building, and let me show you some of those now. So we have this is the 43rd floor, the residence lounge. This is the 152nd floor, the highest point we collected from. The observation deck. And in the observation deck, we have essentially the whole location covered. Most of these floors are covered in full. And I'll just show you the navigational feature of this as well. So you can actually move very swiftly, very easily from one place to another and truly experience it like no other experience but the real thing. We also collected, like I said, from the building maintenance unit. So this is the view from the basket that is normally used to clean and maintain the building. I'm glad we found another use for it now. Where you can actually see the entire downtown Dubai area. You can also access this site from maps. So if you go to maps.google.ae and you search for Burj Khalifa, and we call him the yellow peg man, over any blue area in this map, it actually immediately turns to that particular area. So this is the surrounding area of Burj Khalifa, the Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Boulevard, and pretty much any area in the vicinity of the Burj. So we've set up some very interactive booths outside. As soon as we're finished, you'll have an opportunity to experiment with this. There's some very large screens and tablets that you can try. We're very excited about this. We're clearly putting a lot of effort behind it, and we feel like this is a wonderful opportunity to put an architectural masterpiece of this kind in front of hundreds of millions of users every month around the world. Before I sign off, I first of all would like to thank Amar very deeply for their spirit of partnership, for their cooperation, for their open-mindedness and willing to take risks, as is in the DNA of Dubai. The government of Dubai, Dubai Police, and the Dubai Film and TV Commission for facilitating all the approvals necessary. Thank you very much for your attention. We hope that you find this as interesting as we do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tariq. Actually, the chairman of Amar couldn't be with us here today. He was traveling overseas, but he went to the Google office this morning in Paris and shot a very special video. We'll leave you with a message from the chairman before we take our questions.
First of all, I would like to thank everybody that's joining us today, and I would like to thank Google for this fabulous opportunity. My apologies, I'm not around with you, but I welcome you all. I must say that for people to celebrate and share Dubai and Burj Khalifa is something that's really incredible, not only because it's so tall and so elegant, but I think it reflects such an incredible spirit and personality of this positive city, and an incredible vision of the leadership of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed. But I think more importantly as well is that it reflects the effort and the challenge that's more than 100 nationalities who have worked on the Burj and have put it together and have worked day and night, 15,000 of them, and they push technology to absolute maximum limits to create this incredible elegant structure. Of course, going up and viewing from the 152nd floor, or even going all the way up to the 200, which is the tip of the tower, and taking the incredible views of the city of Dubai is really something really fabulous. I really would like to thank Google for taking this opportunity and joining us and putting us together with them in this incredible technology that they're introducing to the world. And of course, it is the first time in MENA, but I think it's the first time that they go this high and use this technology. So I really would like to thank everyone who participated, and I would like to invite our viewers to come and visit us in Dubai and enjoy the views.
Thank you. I'd like now to open the floor to any questions. If you do have a question, I kindly ask you just represent yourself with your name and which organization you're with, and we will do the moderation of the Q&A session at this time. No questions? That means we did a good job with our presentation. Yeah. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
I don't know, Mike from 7 Days. I just wanted to get 2 quick questions, if I may.
Sure, hang on. We're just getting the mic to you. Hang on a second. I can give a mic. We're going to get a mic to him.
Could you tell us, do you have any plans at this stage to roll out the Street View facility further in Dubai and even the UAE across the country? What are your plans in that regard? And also, Street View is a service that has had controversy attached to personal privacy. Would you like to reassure people in the UAE that nothing will be on there that shouldn't be? Thank you.
Yeah, so I think you should rest assured that Street View will only be complete when we have every part of the world on it. So we've even gone to the oceans so far. So yes, absolutely, there will be a time where the whole of the Middle East will hopefully be on Street View. Exact times, of course, we will not spoil the surprise. So we will not talk about that. Privacy is actually an interesting topic. So I'd like to talk about that from many angles, if you will allow me. So of course, as you saw in the demo that Tara was showing, you get a lot of technology today that actually blurs faces of people around the Burj Khalifa as the pictures are being taken and so on. So from a technology point of view, this is a very advanced position that we have there. Also, we allow users to flag everything that they believe is important for them to flag, and we will take action very quickly. But I think privacy is a much bigger topic. In general, I think the internet, not Google, I would say the internet at large, is really changing the way things have been done in the past. I think if you think of social networks, Facebook being the biggest, and how people are sharing big parts of their lives today, it's very different than the way I grew up, and I'm sure, Ahmed, the way you grew up, right? So in many ways, I think the world is being reshaped, and as the world is reshaped, I think there is a lot of learning that's happening around privacy. What I know for certain is that if there were 2 or 3 topics on Google's mind all the time, privacy is on the top 2 or 3. Okay, we will absolutely try to do our best to make it as protective of people's privacy as possible. I think the technology that you show is quite a big part of that. And in many ways, I think in the UAE, it's not any different. It's not like we will take less care or more care in one country or the other. I think it's something that's at the core of what we try to do.
Thank you. Anybody else have questions? Okay, well, I think since there's no more questions, we have one. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for being here today. Like we mentioned before, there's interactive pods out there so you guys can check out street food for yourselves. And please join us for some lunch and refreshments. And thank you so much for being here today. Thank you.